Okay, so we are talking about something a little bit different. Talked about a few the Artemis missions before, and I'm a big fan of space. And NASA decided to drop this little trailer for something for humanity's first outpost on the lunar surface, which frankly I'm excited to see how that plays out because human and technological advancements pretty cool when it comes to exploration. Honestly, there's nothing better than seeing humanity explore new places. So I'm gonna be honest. Let's just get into it. I don't know what the heck to expect from this.
Four brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon.
Hmm? Lunar South Pole. Harsh terrain, extreme cold, variable lighting. 100%. It's a great reason to go. Robotic missions will lead the way. Makes sense. Scouting, testing, completely reasonable. Yep, makes sense. We will learn to live and work. Yes. On another celestial body. Love it. Establish humanity's first outpost on the moon. To unlock the scientific mysteries of our cosmos. Oh, Mars missions will be exciting. For the benefit of humanity. Moonbase. Oh, okay, that's cool. All right. Okay, so we just watched a trailer for, well, not really a trailer, but more of a like, yeah, they're like confirming we're going back to the moon, which I love. I've been a big fan of space for as long as I can remember, and yes, I'm on board to watch this. I will say though, hopefully with the next launch they get the SpaceX quality live streams, not the Artemis 2 launch quality streams. But it just that launch Artemis launch was actually pretty dope to watch. I was like glued to the screen, and oh man, so there's a few things they pointed out here that they mentioned in there's an in this little video says rich with potential for scientific discovery and resources. That is an absolute truth. That is there's so many resources in space that are absolutely like could be perfectly exploited to benefit all of humanity. And the moon is so abundant with many resources that could be useful for infrastructure, um, freaking technology. I know that there's speculation that you can make glass out of moon rock or moon dirt. So moon glass would probably be suitable. And I don't know much about that, but there's also helium 3, which, for those who don't know, that comes from the sun. It's not the same as helium 4, which is high pitched stuff that makes your voice go high pitched. And that could be good for fusion power, which would substantially benefit all of humanity. I hate that ice maker. So, yeah, fusion would substantially benefit all of humanity. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm excited, man. The Artemis mission was awesome to watch, and so was the SpaceX Starship 12 launch, which didn't land all that well. But you know what? It's a test rocket, so I'm not too concerned about it. I will say this though: I can't wait, dude. I can't wait for Artemis 3, 4, and beyond, because just watching humanity explore, you know, in my opinion, what God created, and understanding and just taking in just how beautiful space itself is. Like, I'll say this, like, Starfield tried to, pass off desolate beauty and all that. That's something that games can't really capture when you're supposed to be able to do other stuff. But then there's things like Space Engine, which are able to capture that in all its majesty. And it is truly breathtaking. Like, Space Engine, if you're just screwing around on that, you can just find some of the most breathtaking scenery out there, and it's baffling. So, I do want to say this because there's a plethora of reasons to go to space. To go to space, to go to space, to land on the moon, to mine asteroids. And resources, energy, environmental benefits, and yeah, no, it just a crap ton of benefits to actually going off world and exploring. And plus, it's just educational. Completely, like, understanding more about the universe itself was just a great thing to do. And yeah, I mean, honestly, like to say there's no reason to go to space is kind of a very narrow-minded statement to make. It is. It's very narrow-minded. It's very people say, well, we have a lot of problems here. Yeah, we've always had problems since the dawn of humanity. That's never stopped us from innovating, adapting, and exploring. So why should we let it stop now, frankly? I mean, I can't wait just to see the next mission, which the next mission is not going to be a landing on the moon, for those you don't know. That's Artemis 4. That's going to be the moon landing, which is going to be so exciting. Artemis 5 is going to be building the pretty much foundation for permanent infrastructure. And then the future missions will be going to space and going to the moon. And I mean, honestly, like, I can't wait. This is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. It's great to see exploration. And I can go on hours. I'm trying to keep myself from going on to a stupid long rant like the last few videos I made on this subject. But I will just say this. Space is unbelievably awesome. I always try to catch every rocket launch I can because they're just so great to watch. And really, any excuse to just see America succeed is just awesome, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, it's great. Freaking just seeing that we're going back to the moon is one of the coolest freaking things ever. I love it, dude. I'm excited. And all right, so back at it with a continuation of this last video. All right, so turns out there's a website here specifically on the moon base that they're planning on building. So we're just gonna break down and talk about this, which I guess this video is gonna be over 20 minutes long because excuses. Moon base. The moon base is home base for Artemis astronauts who will live and work at humanity's first lunar outpost. NASA is leading global teams of innovators across international space agencies, industry, and academia to build the moon base and establish an enduring human presence near the lunar South Pole for all benefit of all. And here we have a bunch of we have overview, homepage, development, and all that stuff. and just goes into super crazy depth. We have this good old picture here. Which is achieving the vision of Moonbase. And it's phases 1 through 3. Phase 1, now to 2029, secure reliable access to lunar surface and experiment. 2029 to 2032, establish initial moon base operating capabilities. 2032 and beyond, achieve semi-permanent crew presence. So what semi-permanent crew presence, I'm assuming, means is, well, simple as that. It's semi-permanent. It's probably like how they do with the freaking ISS space station, where they have like so we're just gonna break down phases. We're gonna break down the phases. Phase 1, learn, test, build. NASA will begin with a rapid series of robotic missions to scout the lunar South Pole region, test technologies, and prepare for surface operations. And then it just says go below. Phase 1 overview. Well, that's Phase 1 of moon-based development includes a major increase in lunar activity up to 25 missions, including 21 landings. Holy 25 missions? Crewed and autonomous rovers for mobility demonstrations and surface preparation, along with 4 drones known as Moonfall. What that? Yeah, okay, we have a lot to break down. We're not gonna break down all this because there is so much information here. And communications relay and observation satellites, early demonstrations of power, navigation, communications, and nuclear radioisotope heater unit technologies designed to endure the long lunar night. Scientific payload opportunities integrated across landers and rovers. First tangible footprint of the moon base effort, with 4 tons of payload delivered to test what works on the lunar surface. And phase 2, by 2029, NASA will transition to assembling semi-permanent infrastructure and initiating early habitation logistics operations. Scroll below to learn more about some of the key assets. Yeah. Phase 2 of NASA's moon-based development will include development of expanded solar power systems, initial nuclear surface power capabilities, potentially including fission reactors and radioisotope power systems, upgraded rovers, potential advanced moonfall drones, and early habitation elements, enhance surface-to-orbit communications networks to provide reliable connectivity across the lunar South Pole region. Delivery up to 60 tons of cargo through as many as 24 landings using low, medium, heavy cargo class landers. On to phase 3. Sustained human presence. This phase will scale operations to achieve a sustained presence with routine crew rotations and continuous surface activity. This is when living and working on the moon base becomes a reality. Phase 3 overview. Phase 3 of moon-based development will include semi-permanent habitation modules with more spacious interior for crew living and operations, operational fission surface power systems capable of delivering steady, reliable energy through long lunar nights, leveraging in-site resource manufacturing. Is that a typo right there? In situ? I think that's pressurized rovers enabling long-distance travel, exploration, and science operations. Advanced logistics network supported by crewed and autonomous rovers to keep the base supplied and functioning year-round. Delivery up to 38 tons of cargo annually to sustain habitats, power systems, logistics operations, and major scientific science outposts, enabled by low-cost reusable heavy lift capacities. And there is so much to break down on this website right now, so we're not going to break down all of it. There's substantial amounts. But frankly, this is exciting. This is genuinely so exciting to see. So there is like a lot of stuff here. And there's a lot of potential here. Like there is absolutely an avenue for exploration and scientific research. For example, I've been really wanting to see this. I don't think I'll see this until probably later in my life, until probably like closer to my retirement age of 70, 80 years old, probably. But my point is, the one thing that would be absolutely beneficial to understanding our our galaxy and the solar systems around our lovely system would be to build an observatory telescope on the moon. It doesn't have to be a supermassive telescope, but any telescope that is like half the size of the largest observatory telescope on Earth would still be substantially more beneficial than a lot of telescopes because, well, one, it would have a freaking surface. It wouldn't have to deal so much with atmosphere, which atmosphere fogs and blurs things and all that. So, like, for example, some of the most beautiful pictures we've seen of space come from James Webb Telescope, Hubble, telescopes like that. Imagine that. Bigger, stable, on the far side of the moon. Easy. Far side of the moon, because tidally locked moon, would mean we could get some pretty clear pictures of a lot of freaking things. Now, I've seen some people say that we can get some pretty clear pictures if we have a 20-meter telescope on the moon. We could get some high quality pictures of exoplanets and all that. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm not exactly an expert on that aspect, but we'd get a lot of great pictures. We would absolutely get like the clearest pictures of stars and neighboring systems. We'd be able to picture Proxima Centauri probably pretty well. We'd probably be able to detect how many planets are in those systems and all that. And there would just be a lot of benefits to building telescopes and all that on the moon. And frankly, there are so many good reasons to go. Scientific advancement. I know one thing that is a definitely not happening in my lifetime sort of deal is the hypothetical antimatter drives. Because antimatter drives are really crazy. They're completely hypothetical right now because we don't have enough antimatter to create it. But imagine nuclear bomb on steroids. If we use that, instead of blowing stuff up, launch. Is pretty much what it is. And it's just, there's a lot of crazy potential around exploration, and it wouldn't make us like instantaneous transportation across our solar system, but it would, if done right, we could theoretically be able to travel further, faster, shorter trips and all that. But I mean, overall, yeah, there's a lot of reasons to go to space and all that, and frankly, asteroid mining, there's so many resources: palladium, titanium, diamonds, gold, iron, silicon. I can go on. There's so many reasons to go deep into space, into our solar system, and just gather resources and all that, because all that, platinum, stuff like that, cobalt, bringing that stuff home, mining those resources there would mean, we wouldn't be polluting nearly as much on Earth. So then environmentalists should be praising that part, but they don't because they're so narrow-minded. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons to go to space. A moon base is a stepping stone in the right direction, and frankly, I cannot wait to see more. I cannot wait to keep up on these launches, and I will be keeping up on these launches, absolutely. So yes. Anyway, now it's over. Let me know what you guys think about the comments below. Like, subscribe, and share on your preferred social media platform. And before I sign off, I do have one thing to say. Go subscribe to the For the Homies podcast. I think this Thursday episode is going to be great. So go check it out. But besides that, that's all I got. So peace out. God bless.